Right then, welcome back to Van Helsing, as it says, the title of Van Helsing game as it is to be called. Now, last time, if you remember, on my last recording, we were doing mission 6. As well as on mission 6, that we were just doing mission 6 as a way of possibly just showing you where all the bits and pieces are and other things that will be involved in mission 6, because I am on hard difficulty, as I have said before, and if you can remember that I am on hard difficulty. So on mission 6, we were in an area that had some electric skulls, as well as in one area from the start of mission 6, you would have found me with a couple of electric skulls and shown you where you could find a life increaser, just one in mission 6, and then went into another area which would have some fiery skulls which can burn Van Helsing, as well as depends on how you play the game. As well as I showed you a thing that had a symbol on it, which where you could find something behind it, as well as, like I said before, if you haven't been watching any of my other recordings I've done a few weeks ago or somewhere around that kind of period, to show you where the things are and what you could find behind them. And so with the fiery skulls, as I have said before, that you could find something behind the symbol, which where you could find a cheat which would be available for you to get hold of if you just use the shotgun or the electricity weapon that you can collect in the game to destroy that thing, which give you cheat called Sick Player, and I showed you what Sick Player does. As well as, speaking of which, just a second, and speaking of which, I have said that when I get to a certain area where I would remind you that when I get to a certain area, I will remind you where the things are, like the electricity skulls or the symbols that would have a cheat in there, as well as all of your life increases and everything else that you might have missed from all the recordings I've done. So that is my main skill, as well as my main plan in the game, for you to know where the things are if you haven't been watching any of my other recordings, as I said. So we're going to move on. So you would have got Sick Player, and as I said before, when I remind you where they are, I will let you know which ones you would get hold of and what they would do, as well as in an area which would be have the fiery skulls. There would have been a little hole on the right hand side for you to find a wheelbarrow or some trolley kind of thing, and I would have said to you that you'd find the ammo that goes to the crossbow that you can get hold of, as well as when you go further in towards where the trolley trailer thing is, you find a stone brick thing with a symbol on it, and you could destroy that with the electricity weapon. And what would have been behind that, which would have been a life REPEN I search up for you to grab hold of, which will allow your health bar to go back up to the size you did have, as well as go into another area, which is where you'd be able to proceed ahead, which where you would have found me up against more electricity skulls, which was keeping me in a spot bother to stop me proceeding ahead to remind you what you can get hold of, which would allow you to grab hold of another life increaser from that area. So you can grab 2 in mission 6, as well as before I finished mission 6, you would have seen a scene with Thanos and with someone called Frankenstein. I was dealing with him last time, and basically just finished mission 6 and grabbed hold of 2 life REPEN I set you up. I brought 2 of them, as well as before we go any further, you would have seen Thanos and have a little discussion with Frankenstein, and where he would have allowed Thanos to know about a werewolf, which is Velgan, that ran off, and where basically that Velgan the werewolf ran off towards somebody to let that person know where Frankenstein is. But you probably got just the idea. What I mean by that is because it's pretty much like the game. Well, sorry, let's try this again. You would know exactly what I mean by that is because it's pretty much like the film of Thanos, and because if you haven't watched the film, well, you won't have a clue. But if you watch me play the game from the very start to the very end, you know exactly what I mean. As well as you will find out what's going to happen next. But before we do, before I end the video, you would have saw Thanos finish having a chat, and then eventually where the parts of mission 7, which would have a title of mission 7, which would a guy would have read out, and a part of it would have said you must breach it and worst it from his grasp. But I'll remind you what it says exactly. So what it did say: the castle of Frankenstein, my son, is the site of Drake's great ambition, the place where he breaches he believes he can bring his PROGENY, with the spells exactly, and then it's going to have to life. You must breach it and worst it from his grasp. That's what it would have said. And so yeah, that's part of the mission 7 that we're going to do today. So you're about to find out what's going to happen. But also, this mission 7 is a bit of a long one, but I'll see if I can hope and pray that I won't be able to do 2 halves of this one like I did on mission 5. Okay, so as I said, that I am on hard difficulty, so I'm going to try and do the game exactly how the game goes. Like I said before, that I will play the game exactly how the game goes, exactly, and just remind you where the things are and what you can find and expect what could happen. Right, so before we do anything else, right up the top of the right hand side of the corner, there is a crossbow and a sword, which is a weapon that you can have. As well as on the left hand side, you can see a red bar that is sitting up quite high. So you wonder, how the hell did you get that up so high? Well, you're about to find out in a moment. But before we do go in a little bit further into that, now there are 15 black squares for the red bar to be filled up. And of course, on the right hand side where the crossbow and the saw is, you might be able to see a little bit of a blue bar lurking about. Now that is your ammo that can go into your pistols and your sword to start off in the game. But when you proceed into the game, you'll have the ammo that will go into the shotgun. And as you saw me in mission 6, I would have said that you can have the ammo that goes to the crossbow, which is what I'm going to use the game when I need to do something extremely. As well as you wonder, how do you use the ammo? Well, what you want to do is just push the L1 button once, and of course when you don't want it to run out, just press the L1 button again to stop it from running out. Because if you're running around like this all the time and you haven't noticed you push the L1 button to turn it on, and you see a colour disappear just to make Van look like this, and it'll tell you that your ammo's run out. As well as with your ammo, there are 5 black squares for the light blue bar to go up. So now, back to the red bar, there are some life increases that you'll have to find in every mission. As well as most of the missions you do will allow you to just pick those up. And when you go ahead into the game, back into the same areas, you don't have to worry about picking up any of the ammo. No, you don't have to worry about the life increases that you might have remembered where they were, because you can always go back and go and get them. As well as with the light blue bar, there are 5 black squares, as well as with the life increases that has got the only black 5 gaps to be filled up, is because I'm going to have to buy 5 life increases. So that's why the red bar with 5 black squares that's left, I'm going to have to buy them. As well as with the light blue bar with the ammo, there are 5 black squares, and of course the only way you can get that filled up into a large big bar than the bar I've got on the moment is because you're going to need to buy 5 ammo increases to do a massive amount of damage and how long it can last. So there's that explained for you. Right, now what we're going to do is go over here to remind you, if I can get up there. Right, up here you'll be able to find a life increaser up here. As well as, like I said, I have finished the game on medium, and so I won't be able to find a life increaser up there. So what I'm going to find up here, which will be a speed boost for me to use, but as Van Helsing says, I can't carry any more. So you wonder, how many speed boosts can you carry? So the maximum dose of speed boosts you can carry is only 3. There are only 3 you can grab hold of. as well as when you pick up a speed boost, it will go into INVENTORY. And what you want to do is press the start button straight away for the scores, options, main menu, and the INVENTORY, as well as return. As well as the speed boost, there are 3 you can carry. You can only carry ammo, REPEN, I said up. You can only carry 3 of those, which will allow your ammo to go back up to the size you did have. Including, you can only carry 3 life, REPEN, I said up, which allows the red bar to go back up to the size you did have. But also, you have probably already read out what else is on the list of things that I have just read up. Yeah, you've got items, weapons, moves, and cheats. Now, as I said about the cheats and all the other things I have picked up, I will remind you where they are and where you can find them when I get there. So, that is that for you to remember by. Okay, so what you want to do is go straight over it, where you can find some bats. Right, also with the weapons, with the crossbow, shotgun, electricity weapon as well. You want to keep that square button pushed in, as well as the accuracy button that you're going to need, which I've made a mistake of as well. So that's me lesson learned. So, with the accuracy, you're always going to need the R1 button pushed in, permanent, so you can keep aiming at things. But also that red colour thing lurking about over there, that means that you can't go back there unless there's something that's been done. Right, so the bit I missed was the accuracy with whichever weapon you're using up against some enemies. What you're going to need to do is keep the R1 button pushed in for good. So you can basically stay accurate. And I'm just going to move this here for a minute so you can have a proper look. So, like I said, with the accuracy, with whichever weapon you want to use, keep the R1 button pushed in. And with the shotgun, pistols, and the electricity weapon, which I'll show you, there's the electricity weapon you can grab hold of, the crossbow, shotgun, and the pistols. And with the sword, what you'll need to do is just keep pushing the circle in and out to use that weapon. Okay, so don't forget that. So R1, hold that in, push the circle loads of times. Found out to do that. And then your accuracy will be on the enemy you're fighting up against. But with the electricity weapon, the crossbow, and the electricity weapon, all you have to do is keep that square button pushed in for good, so you can keep shooting at whichever one you're up against. Also, these bats can do stuff to you if you're not careful enough. But as well as the light blue bar that you have probably seen it go up, now you want it. How's it doing now? Well, basically when you're holding the R1 button and you're using the crossbow or the shotgun or the pistols or the electricity weapon, whichever one, and you're not using the ammo, by not pushing the L1 button, it will go up. It will just keep going up to a size that you did have. As well as if you want it to go down, like I said, push the L1 button, and when you're using it or you're not actually pushing the square or the circle and you're just moving around, you'll see that the light blue bar is going down, so make sure you don't do that. If you want it to stop, push the L1 button again. Okay, and so back to this little red colour thing. It won't disappear because you're locked in this area, so you can't go back out to where you just came from. Okay, that's one other thing I've forgotten about, so sorry about that. Yeah, you can't go back anywhere else apart from here. Okay, so there will be small bats lurking about. They can spit needles at you or whatever red thing it is, knocking my health down. How rude. There'll be some more, as I'm on hard difficulty, so there'll be a lot more than usual. Probably should use another weapon, to be honest. Right, so if you want to switch weapons, push the left D-pad button just once to bring the weapons back up, and push the left D-pad button again to switch it to the shotgun, or if you had the shotgun to start off with, push the right D-pad button once for it to come back up to go to the crossbow again that you really like the look of, or it's better up against whatever enemy you're up against. Right, now when you're killing these enemies, they'll give you a green god symbol. As you can see, there's green lurking about. And sometimes these enemies will give you red to top your health bar back up. And as you just heard, that sound just dropped. That means there's no more enemies, but when it picks up, it will allow you to know that there are enemies around this area, or whichever area you're in. But also you can use the saws to smash some barrels and boxes, which way you can find a ammo, REPENITH up, for you to pick up. But as I said before, if you've got 3 of any of those things, you can't carry more, as Falison says. I can't carry any more. Right, also I'm going to get the electricity weapon now, which might save me a bit of hassle. But what you want to do is do R on a triangle. You just swing yourself across, and if you want to jump down from the edge, don't worry about losing any health, which is fine. And I'm dead, so kill me if you want, see if I care. So yeah, as I said before, it is on hard difficulty, so it'll be a little bit tricky for me. But if you're on medium or easy, you'll be fine. Also, if you do die, your health bar will go back up, but not your ammo, because once it goes down from when you saved it, or wherever you started the mission, you'll just take it back to where it started, where you left it, and then just keep continuing, making it go back up when you need it. Right, also as I said before, when you pick up a life increaser and you die, you have to go back and go and get it for you to make your health bar go back up. And so, the electricity weapon can be an option for you to fire up against these bats. As well as with the green god symbols, you'll find some red, as you can see at the bottom. Well, where I was just a minute ago before I did a back roll there. You can fire in a red one of those to top your health bar back up to a size that you might really wanted it to be staying put as, which is usually what the game's supposed to do. And as you can see, the light blue bar is up. You won't be able to see it right now. There you go. There's the light blue bar. It's up. Now the reason why it's so high is because I've been buying ammo increases, as well as when I did the game on medium, I brought every single one. So the light blue bar will be all the way up until I get there, which involves keep shooting the enemies without using the ammo. So once again, you can jump down and then fire up against these and stop them from getting you, unless you do the jumps right. And with the jumps, what you want to do is push the X and push the L3 towards the left or right to do roll left, whichever direction you want to go. As well as you can do a back roll as well. If you push the L3 down when you're pushing the X as well. As well as when you buy something with the green god symbol, you can buy a dodge counter as well. And the dodge counter will allow you to use 3 weapons: the pistols, shotgun, the crossbow. And when you pay for it, you can do 2 shots. So you can get the pistols, the shotgun and the crossbow to go bang bang at once if you have paid for it. So if you have paid for dodge caliber, then you can get the weapons to do that. As well as you're going to have to pay for 1,500 for that. As well as over here, you would be able to find an egg over it for you to grab hold of. But as I have picked it up a long while ago, I won't be able to get it from here. But yep, you'll find an egg over here for you to grab hold of. Also, as I have got 3 of those, and how much health have I got? I'll leave that. And that thing right there is a life, REPEN, I said up to top your health bar back up. So yep, there would be an egg if you first came in this area for the first time. So you'll be able to get one of those eggs from there. As well as you want to do an R1 and triangle to put yourself on top of it. As well as when you move further over it, you'll find a scene. Yeah, with the werewolf. Velgan. That werewolf has fucking run off. Okay. Next then. Let's see if I can do this right. Okay, so what you want to do first, before you go over there. I could fuck this up. Okay, so what you want to do is stand here I think, and do a jump. There you go. So from where I stood, what you want to do is press the X button to slip down. So yeah, when you stand where I was, what you want to do is push the X to slide down. And when you do slide down it, you will be able to find a cheat from over here. But as I have picked up the cheat from over here, I would be able to find a speed boost from here. So you're wondering, what is the cheat you can grab hold of if you do get to where I was and press the X to slide down from there. Well, what you'll be able to find down there will be Metal Friend, and you probably already have sussed out what Metal Friend is and what it does, but if you haven't got a clue, well, you're about to find out. So when you pick up a cheat, what you want to do is press the start button, as I have done, and gone into INVENTORY. And what you want to do first is make sure the word is in white before you do that. As well as speaking about a cheat that I picked up, there are 24 of them. As you can see, there's a fair load of white ones lurking about. So there are 24. Now, with some of the cheats you can grab hold of, you're going to have to do the game again to grab some other cheats that you won't be able to grab hold of, as well as some cheats you can grab hold of unless you do something about it. So the cheat that you can grab hold of from sliding down there, where you just saw me slide down, I thought I was going to either jump it or either just going to slide off and not land in that area, which was lucky. Okay, so what you'll find is Metal Friend. Basically what that'll do is do something which you're about to find out. But if you remember what Metal Friend does, well done you. If not, you're about to find out. So when you land it, what you want to do is stand over it and push L3 up and push it towards the right as well, and press X to stand back up on top of it. And then once you grab the cheat, if you've done it successfully, what you want to do is probably smash some barrels or box and a crate of some kind, and go straight into this little nice little gap. And yeah, probably want to get the electricity weapon back out, where you'll find some bats. As I said before, there is a cheat you can grab hold of, which is Metal Friend, which will now turn your enemies into metal. How about that? That's a cool cheat. So yeah, Metal Friend cheat from over there. When you land in the right spot to grab that cheat, there it will be. Also, I'm not going to grab any of those things. Right, also, you'll grab a weapon from somewhere. Let me just deal with that in a minute to get all these bats out of my way. So yeah, that's what Metal Friend does when you grab that cheat. But as well as when the cheat says cheat, what are you doing? Yeah, you're cheating. So yeah, that cheat is Metal Friend, as well as I'm using it and I'm cheating. As you would have said, I am cheating. And you probably said, did you say you're not gonna cheat? Exactly that. So I'm not gonna cheat. I was just showing you what it does and where a cheat you can grab all of when you do a successful jump, just like that, or just a slip down onto the right spot to land in that thing. Okay, back to the weapon. Now, the weapon will be up on top of this little platform. So if I just drop down for a minute. I'm not sure if there you go. So on the right hand side of the screen there, where Van Helsing's just standing beside, there will be a weapon for you to grab hold of. So you're wondering, what is the weapon? Well, the weapon is some whacking sticks. They're not just whacking sticks. They're sharp metal whacking sticks. I wouldn't say they're metal whacking sticks, but they're sharp whacking sticks for you to use now. So if you want to stick to the saws, push the down D-pad button 2 times, especially if the health bar and the light blue bar and everything else at the top disappears. So push down or up D-pad button 2 times for it to switch back to the one you always like the look of, or whichever enemy you're fighting up against and you think, I'm not using that for that. No way. And you can do that if you wish. Right, also when you get to this point, you'll find some smoking bats in this area, as well as some normal bats as well. So like I said, you can use any weapon that you want and however you want, but usually the electricity weapon is probably the best one for these bats. Also when they're smoking bats, what you want to do is just walk a little bit towards the edge without walking straight into the smoke, and then you'll be able to grab hold of the green or red, whichever kind of things they're going to offer you. So it's basically random. Also with that life, RAPEN, I said jump, you can grab one of those if you want, if your health's all the way down, not like mine. All you got to do is just press the triangle if you've only got 1 or 2, for you to have 3, or back to 2 that you did have, for you to do that. So I would have said I'm going to use one of those now to top that back up, because I'm going to need it. So press the triangle so you can get Van Helsing to pick it up. That's how you can do that. So now you've got your whacking sticks and a cheat from mission 7 from over this point. And now a scene will allow you to say, you've got to go over there. So that's where we've got to go. Next. As well as, what you want to do is get the shotgun out. And you're wondering why? Yeah, there'll be some werewolves. Not just any kind of werewolf. It's pretty much like Vogan, the werewolf. But there's loads of different ones. As well as, like I said, with a red colour, as you can see there. And I said about it, saying you can't go that way. So the only way you can go there is if you kill all these. So make sure you get rid of them. So you can use the shotgun if you want, even the ammo as well, because you've got that. I was slightly thinking about that, but I'll be fine. So there you go. You can get those gone, and then once you do, the red colour will disappear, so you can go that way now. Also, if you have lost your hat from taking damage like that or whatever, push the triangle and pick it up. And you're always going to need that hat. So keep an eye on where it is. And you're wondering, why are you always going to need the hat? Well, I'll explain to you soon about that. Next of all, what you want to do is go straight up here. Up on top of it. Up on top of it. On top. Get on top of it. And around over this bit. Also, you want to push the X when you get yourself stuck by that bit. I was on just a few seconds ago. And then what you want to do is stop right here. Now, before I go any further, now don't forget when I said about mission 2. Nope, sorry. Oh yes, that was it. So if you remember on mission 1, that I said about a cheat. Nope, sorry, wrong one again. So let's try this again. Sorry. Right. So if you remember, I said about mission 1, where you would have found a life increaser, but as I said before, that when I knew where the life increaser was and where I've played the game loads and loads of times, and I picked up the life increaser, and of course when one day I went to find where the life increase was, and it wasn't even fucking there. Because the game either wants to give you a glitch to show you where it is, and then one day it will say, I'll stash it somewhere else. And so you're wondering, where would the life increaser be if you're in the same position as me? So the life increaser that you might remember about, it'll be somewhere else. And so you're wondering, where is it? Well, what you want to do is push the X and jump on top of it. And go over it. Do R1 and triangle to pull yourself on top of down over this bit. Press X and push L3 up and towards the right and up a bit more. And of course the life increaser will be up here. But as I said before, I've done a game on medium and I've grabbed all of the bits and pieces. And just to remind you where all the bits and pieces are gonna be. So yeah, a life increaser will be up here. So that's where it will be. If you're still struggling to find your final life increaser to allow the final black square to be filled up in red. Okay, so that's where it will be. If you haven't checked my other recordings, to be in the same area that I'm in, for you to know where you can find the last life increaser. If you've always had trouble finding it and one day you say, still got one black square to be filled up apart from bloody one, and say, nope, I'm not fucking doing it because I can't be asked to find the last one. But yeah, the last one will be over here if you had trouble finding it. So as I said before, as I've found it and other bits and pieces that I found before, one of these things will change into a specific thing, like an ammo, R-E-P-E-N, I said up, to top the light blue bar up, or a speed boost, or a life, R-E-P-E-N, I said up, to top the red bar back up. So do all of that. Right, so what you want to do is just jump over the edge to get back down to where you were. And then just continue on. So there you go. Right. What you want to do is get the shotgun out. When you move ahead, you'll find yourself in it. And the reason why you want a shotgun is because you'll find these suckers. They're back. Also, I'm a bit too curious of my health bar, but we'll have to see what happens. Also, I think we better start kicking some shit with the ammo, just to keep me on top of things. Also, probably going to need to press the start button and go into INVENTORY and press the X to top the life bar to go back up, as you saw the health bar going all the way down nearly. Right, so before you use one of these, what you want to do is push the X button just once to allow number 3 to disappear into 2, or if you've got 2 and you want to use one of those to top your health bar back up, just press the X just once and then it will top your life bar back up. As well as the same thing with the ammo, with the light blue bar, use that once and it'll top each one of those 2 automatically straight up to the top, to wherever you've got the size of these bars at the minute. Okay, and also if you push the X again, you'll waste one of those, so make sure you don't push the X a couple of times without knowing the numbers are going down. Okay, so keep that in mind. So that's that. So you can use whichever one. It's up to you. So that's that for you. Also, the hat's fallen off, so I'm okay with that. So yeah. Also, what you can do with these things is get them stuck and then they can't get you. Also, if you want to go for a different one, let go of R1, push it in again, so you can just keep switching it. That's the way he's just getting in. So I'm not going to allow that. One's going to kick my shit in ass. So I'm going to stay with it so I can get the other one out of the way. Don't you get in there. Like I said, you can get yourself stuck in here, just stop and get in. So do that. Says those, apart from 1 or 2, or how many there are. Because as I said, I'm on hard difficulty to make things twice as harder. As long as you're doing something like me, you'll be able to do a nice thing. Just stop them from getting up, and then you'll be all fine. So there's that. Right. Do not push the triangle by this door. So when you stand by it, don't push the triangle. You're wondering, why is that? Well, you'll find out in a moment. Right, so if your hat falls off, push the triangle button to pick that up. Right, also find some boxes. 2 boxes, or 2 barrels, one or the other, on either side of this part of the door, left or right. Right, also what you want to do is smash some more boxes and barrels and stand about over. Let's try and get the colour to pop up. Right, so stand by it. As you can see, there's a colour by the shotgun and the swords. What you want to do is do R1 and triangle to put yourself on top of it, and push your L3 towards the left and up a bit so you can get Van Helsing to walk on the edge. Now don't worry about if Van Helsing's going to fall off. You'll be fine, because that won't happen. So don't worry about that. Just keep walking towards the edge over here. Now there's a symbol over it, and what I'll do is get the electricity weapon just to show you. As you can see, there's a certain colour over there. It's hiding something. If you're wondering what is behind it, as well as guessing what might be behind there. Well, you're wondering what is behind it. Well, what's behind it will be a life increaser for you to grab hold of. But as I've grabbed it before, there won't be a life increaser. So what you want to do is use the shotgun or the crossbow. But I'd say you might want to just use the electricity weapon just to whip it off when you're standing in the right place. And yeah, you'll find a life increaser over there for you to grab hold of. But as I said before, I've grabbed a life increaser, so it won't be there. Because all there'll be is a ammo, R-E-P-E-N, as a job. And over here, by this little water fountain thingy, with the hole where I was standing and just shooting those werewolves with this flashy orangey colour. What you want to do is press the triangle button, and when you do, you'll find a chi. That's where small words will pop up when you press the triangle. So yeah, you'll find a chi over there. But as I have picked up the cheat, there won't be one. So you're wondering, what is the cheat then? Well, the cheat for you to grab hold of will be called... let me try and track it in my head. It will be called Small Friend. It'll be Small Friend for you to grab hold of as well. So you'll grab that. How about that? So you'll have Small Friend to join up with all of the other ones that you can grab hold of. How about that? So you can grab Small Friend. You've probably already sussed out what that's going to do. But if you haven't got a clue, well, what it'll do is make your enemies, like the werewolves, it'll make them small. That's basically what that's going to do. Right, before we do anything else, what you want to do is stand over here, and where you'll find that your weapons, whichever weapons you've got, you're using, you'll find that colour thing to go red again, with R1 and triangle for you to pull something, which will be a life, R-E-P-E-N, as a job. So as I've used one, I will have one back. Thank you very much. So with the egg, like I said before, what you want to do is go over by here. Now, with the eggs, there are 5 eggs for you to pick up. As well as with each one of these little things over here, you can put an egg in there. And so, when you put an egg in, what you want to do, to allow one of those eggs to go in there, what you want to do is go into, or press the start button for a start, and then go into INVENTORY, and then make sure the egg word will be in white when you've picked up one. Like I said, it will go into items, and make sure the word of egg is in white, and then press the X on top of the word. But as I've done that already, that is unlocked already. Now with the eggs, there are 5 of those for you to grab hold of, as well as with the thing I'm standing by, there are 5 of those, and what those are challenges. So as I've done the egg in there, what I'm going to do is press the triangle button. So that's the thing. That is the same thing. If you unlock one, you just press the triangle to go in it. Now, with the challenges that you unlock with those eggs and put one of those in that kind of thing, you'll take yourself over it. And when you do put an egg in one of those things, a red colour will disappear. But as I said before, I have unlocked every single one of those 5. And so the red colour won't disappear. So the challenge that you can unlock when you put that egg into that thing, it will unlock challenge 2. And challenge 2 will be over here. But before we do challenge 2, now, with the challenges, there are 5 of these everywhere. Now, the things with these, 5 challenges, you can grab hold of cheats from here. As I said before, with the challenges, you can grab hold of something else as well. Now, with the challenges, when you complete 1 or 2 and you have completed them, you can get the cheats, as well as if you grabbed hold of 2 cheats when you've completed 2 of those and you still got the red colour around the other 3 to be unlocked, and you go straight all the way through this purple thing, and when you find another egg, to put one of those things into one of those to get back into it and unlock another one of the 5, you can have a go at completing them. As well as if you complete 2 and you've unlocked another 1 and you have 1 or 2 goes and you're having trouble with it, you say fuck that, I'm not doing that because it's too flicking hard work, and you want to try and unlock another one before you have a go back onto the one you've unlocked. And the trouble with this thing is that if you complete 2 of them and you're having troubles unlocking the other 3, or if you've unlocked the other 3 that you're still struggling with, and the thing with this thing is that you can grab something else which will be a weapon as well. So you wonder, how the fuck do you get a weapon with the 3 that you're struggling with, or just the 2 you're struggling with? You're thinking, you must be fucking joking, you can't get a fucking weapon for that. Well, you definitely can. Now the problem with that is that if you've completed 2 challenges, or if you've done 3, then what you're going to have to do is do all of those ones fucking again. You heard correct. You're going to have to do every single one of those fucking again to get hold of a weapon. But what I would say for you to do first is to unlock every single one of those first. And then once you have got your light blue bar all the way up the top, as well as your health bar all the way at the top, then you've got a bit of a good chance of completing them all, apart from one, because I've always had trouble with it. And the one that will be a lot more fucking harder than any of the other 4 will be this one down here, with this green colour thing over here. Now the problem with this one here, which will be challenge 4, is because you're going to have to do some jumps in the right places and get to a certain height to escape a certain colour that will keep going up, up and up and up and up and up to stop you from completing it. Because you're going to have to do jump on 5 platforms, I think. As well as what you're going to have to do is get first to land perfectly on each one of those pillars, wherever they are. And then wait for your grapple hook thing to go red, and you can do R1 and triangle to pull yourself out, and you will complete the challenge, as well as get the cheat out of it. So if I were you, wait until you've unlocked every single one and have your health bar all the way up and your ammo all the way up, as well as grab hold of 2 other things, which will be a specific cheat that will help you quite a lot as well as with 1 or 2 other challenges for you to complete, which will be challenge 2, which I will have a crack at because it's going to be fucking hard as hell. Probably what I would do is get the shotgun and have a go at it. So the challenge 2 that you'll unlock when you put the egg into that thing that I've just done, but apart from press the triangle button, it will unlock this one, which is challenge 2. Now basically what challenge 2 is defend the ring, which is involving not fall off, as it would have said. Inside the ring, don't fall off until the time limit expires or expands, or whatever it says exactly. And the only way you complete it is if you don't fall off the edge. And there are 4 edges, 2 from right behind, as well as 2 at the front where it says don't fall off, or where it will say challenge 2. Also, there's a circle behind Van Helsing for you to fall off as well, which is a problem as well. And of course, the only way you can do this, or a couple ways of doing it, but I'm going to have 1 or 2 cracks at it, but probably say 1. As well as the only way you can fall off, well, there's a couple ways you can fall off, is stand by the edge and press the X button and you'll slide off. Another thing with defend the ring is that you're going to have to defend the ring with some owls. And the problem is the owls are going to fucking knock you off, which is what their object of this challenge is. And what you got to do is stop them for the time to run out. And you've got 28 seconds to do exactly that, to stop them from fucking knocking you off. So like I said, with R1, you want to hold that in and keep the square button pushed in as well. And then you've got a bit of a chance to stop them fucking knocking you off. As well as this is on hard difficulty, so it's going to be twice as fucking hard work for me to make a success out of it. So what I would suggest, you could use the ammo of the light blue bar on the shotgun. That'll help you quite a bit. As well as possibly a cheat that you're gonna probably always gonna need if they make it twice as fucking harder for you. Which will be one that will be the best option for you to use. As well as possibly you want to do this one on easy difficulty, so you've got a better chance of completing it. But as I'm on hard, it's going to be fucking hard as hell. Right, so when you press the X, it will start. And before I do, you're wondering what is the time limit. You've got 28 seconds to do this, so it shouldn't be a problem. But like I said, if you're on easy difficulty, you've got a fucking good smashing chance of doing it. But as I'm on hard, it's going to be fucking hell. Right, so when you press the X, hold the square in and push your L3 towards the left and right, whichever direction you want to go round in a circle. That's one way of making a success out of it. As well as if you want to fight up against a different owl, let go of R1 and hold it in again, especially if an owl is getting towards you. Do that, and then you might be able to get away with it to allow time to just speed up a little bit. But when you're doing it for the first time, the time will expand less than you think. But when you're doing it another 1 or 2 times, it's going to take even less time for it to go down. So you got 29 seconds. Ah, that fucking got me. So yeah, the ammo can help you. But yeah, that fucking done me. Yeah. Jumps and the one fucking whacked me off. So yeah, that is the problem. Those things can do a fucking good job. So you can start going around a circle Well, right, if you get stuck like this, push L3 down. And also I've got dead, which caused me a problem. That's why I failed on that. So when your health's down like that, you want to press the start button. Don't use one of those life RAPE and I set you up to top your health bar back up to the top, which I should have done in the first place, but I fucking didn't. So that is the other problem, but also I've obviously slid off or got stuck in that hole. That is why that is down than I thought. So that caused me an issue. So we'll have one more go until I'm dead. Still haven't died. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave that one alone. So yeah, that's how you can do that. But there's always one way I know how you can do it. There's always one way I know exactly how. Here's the flicking sheet. But still, like I said, best idea is to use it on easy difficulty. That's the only way I know exactly how. And which kind of way is the best way to do that. Right. And I'm dead, so that's not a problem. I'm not worrying about that right now. Okay, so yeah. That's the challenge you'll be able to unlock. As well as, last thing, with the cheats you can grab out of from every single one of those you complete, or any of them. You can get this one, which will be DWERGER skin. Another one will be WRAITH skin. Another one will be ARCHANGEL skin. Another one will be GARCOYLE skin. And the last one will be Phil skin. Those are the only 5 you can get out of if you complete any of the other flicking ones you're struggling with, or if you already have completed them. So, once you've done all that crap, you can press the triangle and get into this area. Where you'll find Velgen the werewolf. Let's go jump from down there. Right, also what you want to do is get the crossbar out. Also, what you want to do is press the X and L3 down or left or right, whichever direction you want to go, to stop him. As well as when he's howling, you've got a good chance to just keep shooting for the time being. Also, what you'll do eventually is do something that you'll find out in a moment when he does it. You're probably guessing what he's going to do. Yeah, he's going to go round in a circle. And what he'll do is go anti-clockwise and clockwise, whichever way he wants to go. And eventually, you'll smash all the boxes and barrels, what's over there. Also, some of these barrels and boxes will give you some red or green god symbols for you to help you to stay alive, or give you a chance of spending things. And we'll get to that soon. Also, like I said, with the ammo, with the light blue bar, you can use the L1 button and push it once to turn that on. As well as, when you're using that, the light blue bar will go down. Depends on how long you want to use it for. Now, with some weapons will allow the light blue bar to go down even fucking quicker. And some of the ammo Also, I'm going to lose a bit of health in a minute. Or freaking die. So I'm going to use one of those to top that back up. So, back to the weapons and the ammo. Now, with some weapons with a light blue bar, it will take a great big chunk of your ammo out. And some weapons will allow the ammo to last a bit more longer than you might think of how well it's going to play out. But the pistols, the shotgun and the saws, the ammo can last quite a massive amount. Depends on how much you've got. Also, like I said, with the hat, you want to be careful when that falls off. You'll find out soon or later what I mean. Also, still, at the bottom of the screen, there's a red bar of whatever enemy you're up against. Also, like I said, oh, a bit concerned about that bit. And so, once you've knocked the health all the way down, Van Assen will pull himself up in somewhere, so you don't have to touch no buttons. Use a grab hook, use his crossbow to hit him in the chest or somewhere. And then he apparates up there. Well, that's going to turn around, smash through the flicking window. And now Van Assen's going to get his shotgun out and shoot him in the flicking head. I know, where's Velgen gone now? Where did he go? Well, he's definitely gone somewhere. I think we might be able to finish this mission off today, I think. We'll see. I've said it now, we're probably going to regret saying things, because usually when we say things, it always backfires on you sometimes. Anyway, then we'll find a scene with one bitch that's took another bitch somewhere. Now you're probably wondering, who is the bitch that's been taken from someone that's took the other one? Well, if you've seen the film, you know exactly who it is. Alright, also what we want to do is go L3 up towards these two doors that's opened up. Right, next. What I will do is use the cheat that I said about, which would be small friend. Should be over here somewhere. There we are. Small friend. So like I said, I'll remind you where they are, and I'll show you what it does. Right. So these are going to be Diddy. So this is one cheat that might help you. But usually, some cheats will help you quite a lot. And some cheats will not help you quite a lot. Because some cheats are pretty cool. And some of them are fantastic to use. And some cheats are rubbish. As well as with the cheats, they will help you stay alive, or shall we say, some cheats are basically allowing you to cheat very good, but you're not supposed to be. So I'm cheating a bit, so I'm going to allow that to happen. So when you do die like that, the cheats will automatically come off for you to not cheat at all. So if you still like the cheat that you're using, all you've got to do is just press the start and go into INVENTORY. or R-Y, shall we say. Spell that wrong. And then, yeah, it'll come back on. Also, with these things, you can use a shotgun to help you. And even the whacking sticks if you need them. Especially if you're stuck. And I'm dead again. So I'm happy with that. Right, if you lost your hat on the floor and you died, don't worry about that. It'll come back on. So don't worry about the thing. Also, you can use whichever weapon you want. Also, with these things, you don't want to get too far stuck. Otherwise you'll be in a spot of bother. If you're quite happy with just allow the weapons to be used the way you want them, that's fine. If you want to keep dying, that's okay, because your health bar will go back up. And also I pushed the wrong button again. So that was stupid. And also it's still checking on the time. So we're still you're good to do what I'm thinking. I'm not seriously thinking about getting me stuck in, alright? Also with these things, when they're quite in front of you, which usually helps. Or either get the ones that are in the corner. You can do that, which sometimes helps. Which is what I've done. So yeah, like I say, you can do that. And just stop them getting you. So like I say, whichever one's closer towards you, let go of R1, push it in again and hold it in, as well as the square, keep that pushed in. And just keep going until they're dead. Or either you can just run towards the door and push the triangle. But I'm not going to try and do that too much, because that is cheating. And even you can use the ammo as well. That'll help. Well, I didn't think of that at the time, so yeah. That'll hold us up. Give me some red. Ugh. You didn't push the right flicking one. But yeah, there's that. Still didn't use the right flicking one. But yeah, so there's that. So what I might do is just run away like a complete chicken. Yeah, so there's those. If you want. Oh, well, I've not knocked my fucking out. Bastards. I want my hat. So yeah, like I said, when you're using the ammo, it'll go down. And the only way you can get it back up is just use the weapons as they are. I just do that. Excuse me. Did I fucking again? Naughty, naughty. Naughty, naughty. Let's try this again then. It probably ain't gonna work. It probably ain't gonna work. Also, it probably went up. One more fucking controller might play up. Maybe. Like I said, you might need to get them stuck. Are you dead yet? Fucking hell. Dying quite a bit. Also, you got the speed boost as well, don't forget. So, there's the couple of options you can use. Come on. Don't keep me waiting. You missed. Thank you. Right, so there's that. At last. Now, where's the hat gone? It fell off somewhere. It fell off somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? A bit more red. There it is. So don't forget that. You'll find out what I mean by that in a minute. Alright, so once that load of boxes out of the way, you'll find yourself some bats in it. Like I said, with the bats, you can use a shotgun. Or even the pistols and the ammo. That can help you. And that can last a period of time. Also, these things can smash into things. So these are smoking bats, don't forget. Now the things with these, when they're over here, don't walk into the smoke, because otherwise they'll take your health out. And so one of these is trying to fucking kick the shit out of me. And also with these bats, when they die, the smoke will disappear eventually. Also I could die in it, which I'm a bit concerned about. And I'm fucking dead again. Which is fine with me. Also, I'm going to get the electricity weapon out. That'll help. But like I said, I'm on hard difficulty, so I'll make it twice as fucking harder. So yeah, like I said, the electricity or the shotgun, that'll help to knock their health down a massive amount. As you can see, I'm using this electricity weapon, so use that. Also with the smoking bats, like I said, don't walk into the smoke, because otherwise their health will go down. Also, you've got some barrels and boxes to smash. Also, when you jump down it, you'll find a life increaser up it. No, sorry, down it. So there'll be a life increaser down it, but as I said before, I have done the game on medium, and I've picked up all the bits and pieces. I won't be able to find them, as well as just to remind you where they are. So there'll be a life increaser down it for you to pick up. And what you want to do is stand by there and just push the R1 and triangle to pull yourself back up it, as well as with these things right here. What you want to use is the shotgun or the electricity weapon, or just the ammo with the shotgun, or the crossbow with the ammo in there you could use, as well as you're wondering what on earth's behind there. You're probably guessing what it might be, but if you're incorrect, well, you're about to find out. But what you want to do is get the electricity weapon and just use that and press the square and shoot it once. And over there, you'll find a life, R-E-P-E-N, I set you up to top your health bar back up. And also with all the werewolves and the bats I was dealing with, I was terrified of using the rest of these life, R-E-P-E-N, I set you up to top my health bar back up. So now I've got 2 back. Well, 1 back to allow me to have 2 still to use. So there's that. Right. Also, I'm using the wrong weapon. Right, when you're using a shotgun, when you're using it with these things, stand quite close to it. And also, I've gone too far, but never mind. So you can go in there to take yourself up somewhere. Which it will take you up over it and over by this little thing where I'm standing. I'll show you. So we'll move over here a bit. Now you'll find some steps, but don't go there just yet, because over where I'm standing, you will be able to find a life increaser from over there. As well as I said before, I've done the game on medium. I won't be able to find a life increaser because I've already picked it up. So yeah, just a reminder, you'll be able to find all the bits and pieces that you might be missing, or if you haven't got no idea where they are or what they do. So yeah, you'll find a life increaser up there, or you'll find a life increaser just here. And then what you want to do is get the crossbow out ready and go up top of these steps where you find a scene.
Looking for someone?
Yeah, Dracula's there.
Let her go. Tell me where the Frankenstein monster hides, and we have a deal. Tell me, or say goodbye to your little princess. I gave my word I'd protect him. Oh yes, we all know how famous you are for protecting your friend.
And now Dracula's took her over into that colour, purple thing. Like I was showing you where you can take yourself into where you can get some cheats from. Also, you can use the ammo with the crossbow and take a bit of damage on Dracula or whoever you're up against. And also, what Dracula will do is send a purple line of some kind. Also, what you want to do is push the X a couple of times and push L3 towards the direction where you want to go. When he's doing that, also I got that in the right time because otherwise I would have been dead by then. Right, also what you can do is use the speed boost if you need be, which is possibly an idea for me to use. Sorry. Right, that should be it. So yeah, that will help. Now when you're using one of those speed boosts, it will allow you to run fast as well as your weapons to go fast. So use that if you need to. I really got to fucking do one of those now. And also when he does that, with a little bit that's going from the sky and down. All you got to do is just move one side and just move away, or push L3 towards the left or right to do that. Also with the speed boosts, they will have a certain time limit before it stops. Oh, you would do one of them now, wouldn't you? Oh, I pushed that start at the wrong time and pushed it again to frickin' survive it. Whoa, that was dodgy. And now I've got no more, so I should be all alright. But still, if you take a load of damage like that, just use one of those life, R-A-P-E-N as a chart, and you'll be fine to keep you alive. Oh, you push that freaking X button again. Like I said, if you're pushing the X button without knowing where your fingers are, and you're going to waste one of those, stop doing that, you bastard. Ugh. Boring. But then again, but Alison is pissing you off. Sounds like he's knacking himself out. Uh-oh. I got a shelf left. And I'm dead. And I'm dead. Again. Oh well. At least I got my health bar back up. Right, also, when you picked up the rest of the pieces that you've done a while ago, you don't have to worry about those. All you got to do is just continue on and pick up the one that's next, or whichever one you just about saved from where you left off, and do it that way, and do it again.
Looking for someone?
Let her go.
Tell me where the Frankenstein monster hides, and we have a deal. Tell me, or say goodbye to your little princess.
I gave my word I'd protect him.
Oh yes, we all know how famous you are for protecting your friends.
That was silly, standing flicky right there. Also with the pistols, the ammo can last quite a massive amount. Also, like I said, you can use the life REPN as a chart to top your health bar back up, or any of those kind of things that will help you up. Also, what you'll do is lean yourself up here. That's it. Okay, we're good. You see that? We're okay. We're good. Better add. Use one of those. Give me a break, man. Yeah, you do your knackered out buttons. Oi, cunt. Also, before he does that, the operation bit, just push the X and L3 towards whichever direction you want to go. You'll be unscathed. Nearly pushed that start button just at the right time, but nope. No, I bloody didn't. Also, when he's operating too far away, make sure you get a bit more closer towards him with the pistols to do a lot of damage, like I have done just there. And also with the cutscenes like this, you can just press the start button and then all of those will disappear, which will help you. Dumbass. Stay still. Like I said, he's going to do one of those on me, I wonder. So like I said, whichever kind of thing you want to use, just press X once. Why have you got to use one of those now? Ugh. Just got you at the right time, you bastard. Oh. You press the X 2 times to select one of those again. So make sure you don't do that. Oh, why have you got to use one of them? Oh, and again. Also, when he does that little line of one way to another, just make sure you just go the right direction, as in go downwards, just go backwards by pushing the L3. Yes, I see your half going down, yeah, piece of shit. So it should be unscathed. And there you go. There he's down.
Back, Lord Helsing. An annoying one at that. And I tire of your presence.
Now he's pissed. Oh, who did that? Yeah, if you're right, you're right. If not, that was Frankenstein that did that. That power that came from getting Van Assen to go backwards. If you're correct, you're correct. If not, well, it was Dracula who was pissed off even more. But still, is he dead? Of course he's not flicking dead. Right. So, we have got 34 minutes and 22 seconds. We've got best kill. We've only done 17. Shots fired, 984. So you wonder, how the fuck does it reach up that high? Well, the reason why it's so high is because I've been using the ammo with the light blue bar. So that's why it's so high. Next of all, you've got MELEE hits, which is to do with the saws or the whacking sticks, whichever one you're using. And how many times you whack a specific enemy. And we've only done one. Damage taken, which is the enemies that does damage to you. We've got 1,351. Part GLYPHS. We've got 16,022. Now that is to do with your green God symbols that you pick up, or how many you've got so far. Next of all, you've got finish with hat on. Yes. And so that's why you need your hat on. That's one reason why you need your hat on. To have a mission to say finish with hat on. Yes. And last of all, enemies killed. We've only done 52. So the reason why you want that thing to say finish with hat on, and you want it to say on one of those things, but every single one. So you want every single one of those missions you do to have that word finish with hat on. Yes. Now the reason why is because you can get something with that saying that. So every mission you do, you want to make sure that says finish with hat on. Yes. So you can get something else if you have every single mission done with exactly finish with hat on. Yes. So you're probably having a couple of guesses. What can you get if it says finish with hat on? Yes. Well, if you sussed out what it is, And what will mean? Well done you. If not, you'll find out sooner or later. Because with one mission, with mission 5, before I did the game again, on hard difficulty, what I haven't said, finish with home. No. So far so good. Right, so you got next is Armory and continue. Now we're going to go through a couple of details about Armory. And also if you want to continue with next mission, what you want to do is make sure the word is in white. But like I said, I'm going to go through the details about Armory. So I'm going to make sure the word is in white and press the X. Okay, so you've got loads and loads of different things you can pay for with the green God symbol that you can grab hold of. Now, with life increaser that's up the top there, it is up to 1,000, as you can see. Now I'm going to get to that soon for some more information about that. Next of all, you've got life REPEN up for 500, and I'll get back to that for some more information about that in a moment as well. Next of all, you've got ammo increaser that has been sold out. Now, the reason why it's saying sold out is because I brought every single one. As well as with the ammo increaser that is saying sold out is because I brought every single one. Now, you can buy 5 of them for the word to say sold out. Now, back to the life increaser. There are 5 of those for you to buy, exactly like the ammo increases or ammo increaser. You can buy 5 of those 2 anytime you want and however you want. Now, you want it? What is the prices for each one of those 2, life increaser or ammo increaser? Well, the prices will be involved in worth 1,000, as you can see at the top. It will say 1,000. The next price will go even higher. So when you have bought any of those 2, life increaser or ammo increaser, each one of those 2 will have the prices going up, as well as they will stay the same prices when you keep buying them, whenever you want and however you want. So the price is up 1,000, as you can see with the life increaser. The next price will be 1,500. Another one will be 2,000. Another one will be 2,500. And another one will be 3,000. So each one of those 2,500 will be going up on top of each one when you buy one of any of those 2. Next of all, we are going to go back down to here, which will be ammo, RAPEN that will be 500. And last of all, we are going to go to here, which is speed boost, that is up to 800. So, next of all, with the life RAPEN or ammo RAPEN as well as the speed boost, each one of those ones, you can only buy 3 of those whenever you want and however you want. As I said before, when you're using one of those, it will do is give you some time to do some damage, especially that's what speed boost does, as well as with the ammo RAPEN it will top your light blue bar back up, as well as with the life RAPEN it will top your red bar back up to the top, whatever size you pay for or whenever you use one. So when you're buying one of these, any of those 3, the prices will stay the same, but also you can buy 3 of those, any of those 3, however you want, and whichever way you want. As well as when you got 3 of those, you can't buy any more. As well as basically what you can do is find any of those 3, as you remember that I've been picking up a couple of those. And when you're doing that, you don't have to pay a fucking thing for any of those 3. So there's that for you. Next for you, you've got Dodge Fob that has been sold at, that I have already paid for. And your value for that thing for you to pay for will be 1,500. As well as when you pay for this thing, it will go to the pistols, shotgun, and the crossbow. And it will allow you to do 2 bangs for whichever one of those 3 weapons you're using. And whenever you want to use whichever one you really want to use. As well as the way to make those weapons go bang bang up against whichever enemy you're up against. What you want to do is use the actually, as like I said, you want to always keep that button pushed in, and keep the square button pushed in as well for the pistols, shotgun, or the crossbow, whichever one of those 3 you're using. And then what you want to do is keep those 2 buttons in, and then what you want to do after that, push the X and push the L3 towards the left or right to do a back roll. Start again. You want to hold the R1 button and hold the square in, and then what you want to do is push the X and push the L3 towards the left or right to do a roll left or right. And if you want to do a back roll, which is what you can do to make those weapons go bang bang, what you've got to do is do the same thing. Hold the square and R together and push the X and push the L3 down to do a back roll for those 3 weapons to go bang bang. And then that'll be all for you if you fancy having that thing for 1,500. Next of all, you've got grapple hook, which has been sold out. And also when you're pushing the triangle, when you hold the R1 button, you're pulling those enemies towards you. But when you pay for it, you can hurt your enemies with this. As well as the price will be 500 if you want it. Next of all, you've got Grand Strike, which will be for the swords, and it is 1,500. And a way to do this is hold R1, push forward, which is L3 up, which is what it's going to allow you to do, or tell you to do. And perform a MELEE attack, which is the swords that can do a nice attack, to strike and pop, and sometimes pop enemies, or should I say, and sometimes pop up enemies that have fallen on the ground, which is what it will do for 1,500. 2 Joe fighters next for 2,000. Also, it's for the swords. Hold your 2 Joe attack to flying your 2 Joe BLADS at opponents, which was what OPPONENTS is spelled to be for. And basically all that's going to allow you to do is hold the circle button to do that. As I said, it's 2,000 if you want it. Air hop is worth 1,000 for the swords again. After holding the airstrike attack button, which is the circle button, to rise into the air, press a DIRECTION, what it's supposed to be exactly, and tap X to jump on thin air, which is what Van Helsing can do. Next of all, you've got another weapon, which is what you can grab hold of in Mission 7, which is those whacking sticks. And also it's worth 1,000. Also, it's going to ask you to say, after a Grand Strike, which is what you're going to have to pay for first, which is Grand Strike for 1,500. And then when you pay for it, hold R1, push forward, which is L3 up again, and attack with the weapon, which is going to allow it to be called SCIMITARS, what it's supposed to be exactly, to perform a spinning SCIMATINA or SCIMITAR attack. So it's the name of the sword, weapon of the whacking sticks, to make fast and swing those things around. That's what you can do with those. Next of all, you've got MELEE with the swords again, which is 2,000, as well as you can do explosion with these things. And what it will allow you to do, you can either get a ring of ice or fire and also explodes. So each one of those two can do explosion with any of those two, whichever kind of thing it wants to give you. From the last hit of your ALTERNATE, what it's supposed to be, ammo, which is light blue bar again, and the name of the sword, MELEE, and of course some nice combos with those things, but it's 2,000 if you want it. And last of all, you've got finisher slot. Now you start with 3 of those, and you can buy 2 more of these. Now what this will do is allow you to knock some enemies' health all the way down, but some enemies' health will not do exactly that. As well as you can get 2 more of these things, because you start with 3 and you can get 2 more, and the prices are 2,500. And get ready for this one, 3,500 for your last one of those 5 that you can always ever get. Okay, so those are the prices for those. Right, as I got 16,022, I'm going to grab every fucking one of those life REPE and I set you up. Each one of these ammo and each one of these speed boosts, as well as the speed boost is always 800, apart from the speed boost that can allow you to have 20 seconds to run fast and of course get the weapons to go fast. As well as always with the ammo, REPE and I set you up is worth 500 every time when you're buying these things, as well as it will allow your light blue bar to go all the way up to the top, as well as the life REPE and I touch up. They are always going to be 500, as well as they will always top your health bar back up to the top of the size that you did have. Okay, and we're on mission 8. That comes next. Do I want to use one of those now? I think I will use one of those now. And before we do mission 8, we'll have a person to read out what's next, and then we'll do it the next day or whenever I feel like doing it. So here we go for some more information about mission 8, if you have never heard of it before.
The Castle Frankenstein cannot withstand Dracula's destructive power. If you find yourself in need of a quick escape, make haste to the courtyard. There you will find the most efficient form of transport.
Well, there you go. Mission 8. The Castle Frankenstein can't withstand Dracula's destructive power. If you find yourself in need of a quick escape, make haste to the courtyard. There you'll find a very interesting transport. So that's what we've got to find next time. And before we do anything else, we'll find out what's going to happen next, which will be explosion. Arson's on his backside. And he's going to get himself up, and the place is shaking all over the place. And the only reason why, there's a great big freaking hole. But yeah, there's not a massive amount, but yeah. So I'm going to turn that ammo off to stop it running out. And as you heard that sound there, yeah, there's something that you might recognise. But that's for next time anyway. So I hope this all helps, and mainly just give you an idea what you can find, as well as how you can do things, especially if you're just on easy. But like I said, I'm on hard difficulty, so it's going to be twice as freaking harder for me to do some killing and everything else. Yeah, there it is. Mission 7 done, and I shall catch you on the next one for mission 8. Take care.